From a bold military takeover in 1999 to a decade of transformation, this is the story of General Pervez Musharraf, the man who ruled Pakistan for 10 powerful years. On the quiet evening of October 12, 1999, the course of Pakistan's history was irrevocably altered. A silent, bloodless military coup unfolded, removing the democratically elected government of Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif. At the center was General Pervez Musharraf, Chief of Army Staff. As the nation watched, some with cautious optimism and others with deep-seated fear, a new chapter began. Musharraf appeared on national television, promised to steer the country away from economic collapse and political chaos, vowed to end corruption and restore order. In the immediate aftermath of the coup, Musharraf's government prioritized economic stabilization with a focus and discipline that had been absent for years. He brought in a team of technocrats, including Shaukat Aziz, a former Citibank executive, to overhaul the country's failing economy. Their mission was clear: restore fiscal discipline, privatize inefficient state-owned enterprises, attract foreign investment. The results in the early years were striking. The national economy, which had been on the verge of default, began a remarkable turnaround. The Karachi Stock Exchange soared, becoming one of the best-performing markets in the world. After 9/11, Musharraf became the West's key ally in the war on terror. His decision to join the US-led coalition brought billions in aid, but also deep internal conflict. This alliance brought a massive influx of economic and military aid from the United States. International sanctions imposed after the 1998 nuclear tests were lifted, and Pakistan's foreign debt was rescheduled. The Pakistani military received advanced weaponry and training, and the country regained a level of international legitimacy it had lost. The decision to side with the United States was deeply unpopular among large segments of the Pakistani population. This created a deep and dangerous schism within the country. Critics accused Musharraf of selling out Pakistan's sovereignty for American dollars. The policy was often described as a double game, a complex and perilous balancing act that would have, devastating and long-lasting consequences for Pakistan's internal security. The early 2000s brought stability and progress. Musharraf liberalized the economy, opened private TV channels, and brought technology to millions. Pakistan's economy saw record growth. He introduced reforms in women's empowerment, local government, and economy. But the 2007 emergency rule and judiciary crisis changed public opinion drastically. One of the most visible and lasting changes of the Musharraf era was the liberalization of the electronic media. This decision led to an explosion of independent news and entertainment channels. However, this freedom was not absolute. The military itself remained a red line that was rarely crossed. Commercialization led to sensationalism and a decline in journalistic standards as channels competed fiercely for ratings. The very media that Musharraf had unleashed would later become one of the most powerful forces in the movement against him. In 2001, he introduced the Local Government Ordinance, devolving power to districts, tehsils, and union councils, with 1/3 seats reserved for women. Critics argued the system relied on military goodwill and created loyalists, weakening established parties. By 2008, growing opposition, political unrest, and loss of support forced Musharraf to resign. His exit marked the end of a decade that reshaped Pakistan. The imposition of the state of emergency in November 2007 fatally wounded Pervez Musharraf's presidency. While he managed to secure his re-election from a compliant parliament and eventually lifted the emergency in December, his political authority was in tatters. The crisis had united the country's disparate political forces against him. The assassination of former Prime Minister Benazir Bhutto upon her return to Pakistan in December 2007 added a tragic and chaotic dimension to the political turmoil, further eroding public confidence in his government's ability to provide security. The nation was now clamoring for a return to full-fledged democracy, and the momentum had decisively shifted away from the military ruler. Under intense domestic and international pressure, Musharraf was compelled to allow general elections to proceed in February 2008. The elections served as a powerful referendum on his 9 years of rule. The results were a resounding rejection of his leadership. The Pakistan People's Party, now led by Benazir Bhutto's widower, Asif Ali Zardari. The Pakistan Muslim League N, led by Nawaz Sharif. They won a decisive majority in the national parliament. Even today, Pakistan debates Musharraf's legacy. Was he a reformer who modernized Pakistan, or a dictator who silenced democracy? One thing is certain, his decade of rule left a lasting mark. Section 9. The Enduring Legacy. The legacy of Pervez Musharraf is one of profound and enduring contradictions, a reality that continues to polarize opinion in Pakistan and beyond. He was a military dictator who ushered in an era of unprecedented media freedom. He was an autocrat who empowered women and empowered local governments. He was a proponent of enlightened moderation whose policies coincided with a catastrophic rise in religious extremism. His supporters remember his tenure as a golden age of economic growth and modernization. Gleaming new highways, the proliferation of mobile phones, the vibrant television channels. Conversely, his critics paint a much darker picture. They argue the economic boom was an unsustainable bubble, built on foreign aid and debt. Love him or hate him, Musharraf's 10 years changed Pakistan forever.